Okay, Teresa, make sure you're unmuted.
Okay. Hey, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great tonight. We are so excited. We could not be more excited because we have Alison Beiler on tonight. And Alison is amazing. We love her. If it wasn't for Alison, we wouldn't be here because she sponsored Danielle. Danielle sponsored us. So, I mean, her stories, she's got so much to share, and I really just want her to share from her heart what she wants to share. She is our holistic cowgirl herbalist, and she is amazing. I'll take a little time for housekeeping real quick before I bring her on. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. Do not come and do not unmute yourself and ask over. We want this recorded. We want a clean recording because Allison's Zooms are always phenomenal. We want to be able to reuse them. So if we don't get to your questions, because we only have till at the latest 8:35, we want to be able to get your questions answered, but just kindly put them in the chat so we can be very, very conscious of time for everyone. So that makes it fair to everyone. So without further ado, Allison, are you there?
I'm here. You just have me a little shocked for words right now because you're putting me up here.
Well, you
And
are.
oh, you're so sweet. Am I coming in okay?
Yes.
Yes, great.
Okay, good.
Great.
Okay, good. Because Teresa's frozen for me, so I don't know if it's me being frozen or if it's her.
It might be me because I'm in the midst of.
You're good. I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, yes.
Okay.
So,
Just got a
Okay.
thunderstorm, so if anything happens, I'm here.
all right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for that awesome introduction. I literally had zero agenda for tonight, so I didn't know exactly what you guys wanted me to do tonight. But I'm easy going, and I can literally just run off the run off the cuffs. So, I just want you guys to understand one thing though. Like, even though like they're putting me up here on a pedestal, I want you to understand like we're no different. I mean, I'm literally this humble country bumpkin. In fact, like I couldn't even take a shower today. We had to go buy water because we have no water. That's how far out of the country we are, okay? Like our cistern went dry and we don't know why. I mean, my husband might know why because he was just down there, but so I am the same. We literally do the same kind of functions every single day. The only thing that I feel like I have here is a level of belief. And so today, oh, I do have it on. Believe in yourself. Like that's what I wear, and it says if you've never seen this before, believe in yourself. So what that means is be you. I know it's backwards. Be you. Everybody else is already taken. I don't know if you've ever heard that line before. If not, write it down. Be yourself because everybody else is already taken. And why I feel like I need to start with that right now is because there's so much comparison in this world. It's not even in the industry. It's not even when you're going on social media. It's not even in anything. It's literally everywhere. Like we compare ourselves to everybody else. We're scared to tell people about what we have because why? We're scared of what they think. And they're not thinking about you. They're too worried about themselves. It's so crazy. I am terrified to step in front of people and talk, but when I realize that when I step in front of other people, it's changing lives. All I can tell you is this particular product that we have our hands on. I don't know how much you know of the history of Fix, but let me just reiterate that. This isn't a formula. This isn't something somebody combobulated in their head. I make up a lot of words. And so if if you understand the depths of what this has, and I'm sure every single one of you on here, I mean, goodness, you have 31 people. That's a pretty big team, TMT. Good for you, sisters. Woo! That's pretty exciting. Proud of you. Let me just say, this product, the history, the story behind it is not by accident. These snaps, the machines, are owned by the owner of our company. And I wanted to share this little story with you because this impacted me in a huge way. It's a God story. It's a huge God story. I live my entire life. I'm not here to project my faith on anybody, but I'm telling you, I just got goosebumps. God is all over this. So this little snappy thing, this is called a snap. The machines are owned by the owner of our company. He owns these. This is a totally innovative thing here, packaging. And he had a whole side of his warehouse that it was empty, and he could have been making money off of it for rent. You know, he's been in manufacturing for over 22 years, but he didn't. Something was holding him back. And he literally said a prayer, God, I want an exclusive product to put inside this that nobody else has. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. 2 days later, he got the phone call from Trey King. It says, I have this herbal extract, this plant extract. I don't know what to do with it. 10 years ago, I was tasked with trying to find another natural solution for the peptides that are now very popular. About 10 years ago, they were not. They're trizepatides, the Ozempics, and all the things. They knew back then. So if you don't know about the business of pharmaceuticals, they pretty much forecast what is going to come before we all know it. And everything that we're living with today and all that's popular today, they push the agenda. Ever since the beginning of dawn time, started with the Rockefellers. Yes, I've done a lot of research on holistic healing. That is why I'm the holistic cowgirl. That's why I became an herbalist. I'm telling you, it started then. Okay? The Rockefellers jumped in, pharmaceutical companies took off, and all of a sudden, people were no longer treating illnesses. They were symptom treating, and they were coming up with drugs. And we literally just relived this all this weekend through Dr. Ben Bowers on Sunday. He came and he shared this whole spiel about this. Unfortunately, it was not recorded, and it's for a good reason, because he would get into a lot of trouble. In fact, we were also told he was also given a lot of death threats because of all of the knowledge that this man has. So get in the rooms where the people are speaking so that you can hear the knowledge, okay? So knowing this, that the pharmaceutical companies come up with drugs, and then they literally make diseases so that these drugs can be taken for the diseases, and therefore more drugs, more drugs, more drugs because of all the symptoms. So again, I'm going back to 10 years ago, or now it's 11 years. The pharmaceutical companies wanted to come up with a way to get rid of these, another plant form. They spent over $8 million trying to recreate the extraction process of MHE3 because they knew they needed to go after visceral fat. They pulled out. They said, we spent our $8 million. You didn't come up with it. We're done. One of the scientists that was working with Trey had a dream, had a vision, woke up, from the extraction process. Lo and behold, told Trey, they discovered it. Now he didn't know what to do with it. He calls our owner, Randy Tainer, and Randy is like, oh my goodness. I literally just said a prayer about this 2 days ago. So he gathers up two of his big leaders, Byron Schrag and Jim Denzine. They go over to the manufacturing place where this gentleman lives. They check it out. They gather all of the knowledge. They sign the documents. They now own the rights to the MHE3. And also Fit, which was called something else back then. But Randy's a smart businessman. He said, I'm going to launch this one first. I'm going to wait and launch the second one. The man is brilliant. The only reason the pharmaceutical companies did not get their hands on this, the elderberry, the bilberry, the grapeseed, they called it EBG 600 or something like that. The only reason they didn't get it is because they didn't have enough raw material 8 years ago. So it's by no mistake that God gifted us this. There's a level of prayer. Again, I'm not projecting my faith on anybody. I'm just telling you, this is where it all comes from. This is where it all stems from. All this to be said, when I was introduced to this last year, I saw something way bigger than fat loss and weight loss. I saw the answer to a vision I had in 2022. Wrote it down in my journal that God told me that it was going to be something herbal-based that's going to help me to help others change the trajectory of the health system. And let me just say, I think we're at 400 or 500 different practitioners, probably way more than that at this point. I don't think anyone's counted anymore, but health practitioners that are literally trying to prove this product wrong. And this is where Dr. Ben Bowers came about. He spent 600 of his own hours putting this product into his database. He owns his own research company. He's a multi-millionaire over and over and over again because he teaches at every top medical institution in the country because he's this brilliant. He's a researcher, owns a research company. So he's like, I'm going to find the loophole with this product because that's what his job is. He puts every drug, every natural thing in his database to find out how it interacts with other drugs, how it interacts with different diseases, different age groups, different genders, all the things. And he's going to continue to study it because he can't find anything.
Wow.
Some of us listen to this and it goes in one ear and out the other ear because we've been in health and wellness and we think of it's just another formula. It's just another product. I'm just going to put it on here and add it to the repertoire of other products. Last night, I was on a call with a bunch of women and I was mind blown because these women were saying $600, $800. One said she wouldn't even give her dollar amount of what she's spending a month for supplementation. And now she's replacing it with a $79 product that does all of what those did. We have an Iron Man in this company. He's not in my organization, but he's in this company. He's like 74, 75 years old, Iron Man several times over. He's replaced over 20 supplements by taking this product. He said, I can run a mile again in less than 20 minutes at 74 years old. This is the power of the product that we have in our hands. And so for me, what I'm telling you is we go about our days. We're busy. We have summer. We have children. We have jobs. We have all the things that distract us, other opportunities, our shiny objects, whatever is out there. But let me just ask you this. If you were the one that was given the only extraction process, there was no MPG, it was your business, how many people would you be talking to about this?
That's right.
That's what I have in my heart. We were in Colorado. The girls and I went on a horseback ride. The owner comes out by no mistake, starts telling me about all what's going on in her life. Then she hands me, talks to me about her daughter who died of cancer. And she told me there's a book in there. And I was like, oh, I just got goosebumps again. And I'm like, I'm going to get that book. And on here it says 2 Corinthians 12:9. Okay. I started telling her about fixed. Nobody else opened their mouth. Everyone sat there closed mouth. I waited for somebody to say something so that I wasn't the one talking. But everybody thinks it's somebody else's job to talk about it. Like somebody else will tell them, I'm too scared to. What if the person that shared this with you never told you?
Wow.
Last night, I was overly emotional. I was so nervous to get on a call last night. I don't know why. And then a girlfriend of mine that was on the call called me afterward. And she's like, what's going on, sister? I couldn't talk. I was literally bawling. I had to turn my camera and my microphone off live to take a couple breaths. And I'm not telling you this because I'm somebody special. I'm telling you something because I believe so heartily this is my product. When I listen to testimonials where little children are off multiple pharmaceuticals and are now taking a product, I think about if a year ago I didn't say yes to this, would they be experiencing this story? Would this be the story we would have heard last night? Could she have heard it from somebody else? Yes, but I don't know from who. That is the beautiful thing about this particular industry. It's not just my product that I'm banking off of, that I'm putting in Walmart or Target or grocery stores or wherever else manufacturers usually put their product. This is mine. This is yours.
Yes.
And people aren't going to hear about it until you open your mouth or share it on whatever platform you're choosing to share about. I call people, I tell people, my husband is telling so many people, never has he ever been this excited about something. Why? Because it's working.
Yes. 100%.
You have a colorless, flavorless. Hello. How many of you have ever given somebody a product? Oh, that's disgusting. I can't take that. With herbalists, when we have herbal tinctures, I have lots of them. And most of the time you have to take them multiple times a day. And they are not very tasty. Most of them are disgusting. You got to choke them down or hold your nose or whatever to get them down, but they work, right? So for me, being able to give it to my horses, my dogs. Everybody asks if I give it to my dogs. I do have a dog here that I bought everyone. I don't know if you ever saw, like my only gift to myself so far was a dog when I made it here. It was a little schnauzer. Hey, River, come. Oh, Abner's eating, so she's going to totally ignore me right now. But anyway, I give it to her right from my mouth. Now, if you have a bottle, can you bring her here? If you have a bottle that you're not going to contaminate with other animals or whatever, this is how I do it. But like, I would give it directly to an animal. I've had quite a few people ask me lately how you give it to an animal. And why do I give it her? Because she was given to me. When I got her, she got pneumonia really, really bad. And so she was put on so many things. And so I think her lungs have been damaged. So now, like, she already knows what this is. So I just hold it up to her and she just takes it. Like, I don't know any other tincture that you can literally give this to an animal that's going to be that gracious to take it. But my horses, you could put it in a syringe, give it in them in their mouth, but I get it directly in their mouth because my animals are free fed. But I'm telling you, the level of belief of what that does for somebody when you can see the changes. I know you all have a dog on in your group that had Cushing's disease and was having seizures, and the lady started giving it to her dog, and Gloria Benson. I don't know if you know.
Yes.
And the dog's no longer having seizures. Like, that to me is huge because I feel like I'm yelling. I have a window unit air conditioner. Like, I literally live in a country, so I feel like I'm shouting. But that to me tells people there's no placebo effect. So yes, the money is insane. Yes, all the things, but what I'm telling you is where it came from. It comes from here. And when you start to give, there's a term called reciprocity. Oh, I said it. Reciprocity. The more you give, the more you get back.
Yes.
That's a word I've had a hard time saying for a long time. Reciprocity. See, I said it again. Anyway, I'm going to celebrate myself there. I literally, so this is what I do. If anyone wants a book, if you like to read, you ever hear leaders or readers, please reach out to me privately. This book is called Only God. The pastor of our church wrote it. When you message me, just drop me your address and say book. I have a bunch of them here. It is part of me giving back. No matter what happened to you, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, no matter how you have failed or thought you failed, no matter how broken you feel, no matter how hard you have already tried, you have a colossal chronicle within you, just waiting for you to be written.
Wow.
I just got goosebumps all over my body.
I know.
Anyway, I dropped off a bunch at the post office this morning, but this book, the way he wrote it and the way that it gives vision and hope and purpose in people's lives, I feel like it has nothing to do with network marketing, but it has to do with this. And before you can do anything in life, it's the breaking through of you.
Yes.
Is what's holding us all back.
Yes.
It's no fancy comment. When I reached out to Karen and Terry, and I'm like, how am I supposed to prospect people? And what am I supposed to say? Can you give me something to say? Like, have you said that before? Like, give me the script. I want the script.
Yes.
Or I need to post. What should I post? Send me what you want me to send me. What would you send? And I did. And Karen goes, would you join with that? I'm like, okay. No. So what did I do? I literally didn't know what to write. I started sending little texts. Hey, Tammy, how's it going? And then I'd send a voice clip. I know so this is me on social media because I don't know people face to face. I am literally, when I tell people I'm an introvert, my husband over here can totally attest to the fact, I'm sorry I'm picking on him. He's right here. He's here. He's not. Like, he is an extrovert big time when we are around a bunch of people. And so I used to hide behind him. So for me, building on social media is where it's at. So for me, it was scary like crazy to reach out to people. And I did. I said, hey, Tammy, how's it going? And then she would see that. And then I'd put a voice clip in there. Why? Because Nikki Rempel told me to. Because that's what was working for her. She said the old type of message was not getting people's attention, and she needed this in a bigger way. She shared her story this week, and her and her husband did, and it's amazing what she went through when she started building this. And so So my point is this. When somebody is winning and they tell you what they did to win, it's not what they did. It's how they did it. It's how she said it. I didn't hear any of her voice clips. It didn't matter. All I knew is that she was sending a voice clip about how passionate she was. And I was in a place where I needed this to work more than ever. And it wasn't that I needed it to work. I literally had somebody come up to me, not here, but in another company when I spoke on stage. She says to me, I really want this business to work, but I've never had anything bad happen to me like it has happened to you. How do you do a business when everything's always going good in your life? And I said, I'm so glad that you're asking me that, because has everything always been good? Because if so, why did you need the product that she was on? And if so, there's a reason you're on this product. So maybe your life isn't as downtrodden as mine was. Maybe what voice message do you send to them? Whatever I feel like saying. That is literally how I do. If I would tell you word for word what I said for everybody, it's different for every human. I would go to their Facebook page, see what's going on in their life, and I would just comment on it and say, look, I know you're busy. I'm busy. I would love to catch up, but I am so excited about something because it's changed my life in a massive way. Brand new, first to market product. And it was always different. If you repeat what I say and you write it down and you read it, they're going to hear you reading it and they're not going to take it seriously.
Good point. Yeah.
People hear passion. People see passion. And if you copy and paste all the time, where is the realistic authenticity in behind that? And I'm not trying to be mean and I'm not trying to be rude, but this is how it was presented to me. If I give you exactly what to say, Allison, how are they ever going to know who you are? Why would they ever choose to join you?
Wow.
Because remember what I said, believe in yourself. Be you. Because everybody else is already taken. If we choose to live in a copy and paste world, which is great, some people need that to get the confidence up. But if you live in a copy and paste world, that means that you're always going to stay here.
Yes.
We all have a different fingerprint. Every single snowflake that falls is a different snowflake. There's a different makeup. And that is how special we are. We all have a different fingerprint. In fact, I think it's crazy that I can touch a little button on my computer and it recognizes my fingerprint. If I use a different finger, it doesn't.
Mine doesn't either.
How did it do that? Anyway, yes, I am easily entertained, right, Abner? Easily entertained. I'm as simple as it gets, honestly. A lot of people like a lot of technology. I have a really large group of people that love technology, that love a thing called boards, that love beautiful graphics, that love all the things. But that doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for them. It wouldn't work for me because that is not who I am. And so when I message people, I literally get down to their level. Maybe they're struggling with their health. Maybe I look at Lori, and I'm like, Lori, I saw on your page you're having a hard time sleeping lately, or you're struggling with joint pain, or your hair's falling out. Some people are very verbal on their social media, or they tell you face to face and say, hey, what have you been using lately? How is it working for you? Here's a tip for you. The person that controls the conversation is the person that asks the questions. If you're not asking the questions, you do not control the conversation, and therefore that is how you're losing that conversation when you're in a conversation about the business or the product. The person that controls the conversation through questions is the person is going to get the attention of the other person. So I know that's crazy. It's a twisted word, but it's a play on words, right? Like you have to get people's attention. In a world that is so fast paced, think about why you said yes. Somebody told me this years ago, and it's crazy, right? I got on social media in 2017, the very end, the beginning of 2018. I knew I needed to learn how to do social media for business, period. I didn't know why. It came about me. And this is the power of your thoughts. I found a program to learn how to use social media, Facebook. By the way, did you know that Facebook was literally the whole reason it was launched was for business? Did you know that? It was literally to create a marketplace for people to put ads on so that people could buy things. But how cool is it that we'll make it look like people are using it to connect with family and friends? They have no clue that it was originally the purpose of Facebook was to get people on there so that they can constantly throw ads out there and you're buying on this huge marketplace. Hello.
Wow.
Yes. So when I figured that out, then I'm like, okay, I have to learn how to use it the right way. So I found a program that cost $1,200. I didn't have $1,200 then. Didn't come from a family that had money. And I said to my husband, I need $1,200 to do a Facebook thing. He's like, we don't got it. I'm like, all right. I literally got in the mail $1,000 from my grandparents who never gave us money, by the way. I didn't come from a family that way. It was the first and only time they sold stock and gave $1,000 out to all the grandchildren. Do you remember that, Ab? He's just going like this. Great support, honey. Great support.
I remember, honey.
Thank you. Anyway, he just sits there and goes like this. Anyway, so I had the extra $200 put in and I took the course. And I learned how to do it. So all this stuff that I've been doing on social media since then has never changed. It's learned back then. And why I'm sharing this with you is because June of 2018, somebody sent me a cold message. Yes, a very cold. We were not connected as friends on social media. They sent me a message and they said, hey, I see you're a marketer online. They had no clue who I was. They didn't know I was an herbalist or anything. And they said, I have a brand new business opportunity. I'm looking to build a new business. I don't know if you're interested or not, but if you are, let me know. I'll send you the info. Boom, that was it. I said, yeah, sure, send it. So all those people that talk about cold messages being horrible, hello, that's what I responded to. And it was an herbal product. In fact, it was a sister product to the house plant. It was the hemp plant. It was CBD oil. And I just got on there, went crazy, went all over social media, into groups, all the things, grew my social media platform to where it is today. And in that company, I rose to a leader based off of a product. What happened? The owner stopped getting the product in the farm that we were having all of the results from. So therefore the product changed. Nobody was having results anymore. So I walked away from I thought it was okay. It was between $15,000 and $20,000 a month. And so I walked away from that because I'm not going to stand behind a company that doesn't have that type of heart to keep the product the same way and then just sell it and act like nothing's changed. And lie
And
to
look
us.
what you have, and look what you have now, Allison. You know, probably 4 or 5 times that
Yeah.
what you walked away from.
Yeah. So that would be 5 times. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's not that, like I say to everybody, everybody looks at me. I learned this weekend that people thought because I was an herbalist, that's the only reason I'm having success here. No, I literally had to reach out. I was telling you, I didn't know how to message people. I messaged people and I messaged other leaders in network marketing companies. I just happened to have a level of belief that attracted. So when I say this check came in the mail to start my social media, that's where I was going. It's a mindset. What you put out to the world comes back to you tenfold.
yes.
So ask yourself this. I know you said you had 35 minutes and now I'm at 30 minutes of the hour. I want to ask you this question. How many people came to your mind as you were sitting here listening to me? Who do you know that needs to feel better? Who do you know that has health issues, is on pharmaceuticals, that's dealing with a major health issue, that's, going to the hospital, going to the doctor, can't sleep, can't focus? I mean, goodness, we can go on and on and on. We've heard stories from cancer I heard a story when I went to corporate, the people in the corporate office told me there was a doctor that took Fix and put it in the IV of a stroke. Patient that came in with a stroke so bad, they put it right in his IV and he popped right out of the stroke with 0 complications. Obviously, we can't share this on a public, I should hear, but I'm just saying, like, this is huge.
It is.
So I could keep going, but the TNTs.
Well, I want to ask you. I want to ask you something because we have some people that aren't social. I had to really, like you. I had to learn to do a lot of this stuff. But what would you say other than social media would be a good way to reach out to people? Just reach out to them personally. Yes, call them.
So we have so many people that are coming on board under the radar, so they can't use their social media. And you asked me to share about Bob and Peggy, who are
Yes.
70s. And Bob and Peggy are in their 70s. They had to have their granddaughter come over to show them how to use their phone so that, save some stuff that they're getting sent. And they're Blue Diamonds, and they've been Blue Diamonds every single month since April. And so they're making. So Blue Diamond, my friends, is about $30,000 to $40,000 a month, just so you know. And Bob was saying, as he stood up in front of the room, he's like, I could pay cash for my wife when we had to go to the dentist and get her teeth fixed. He's like, that's something that we never thought we'd be able to do at 70-some years old. And most people are living on Social Security. He said, because of this business, we're able to do these things and not have to worry. Not have to worry about grandchildren who want to hang out and do the things. And so how did they do it? They called people. They did face-to-face. They did whatever it took because the product made such a massive difference in their life. They just kept thinking of people. And right now they ended up, through another person on their organization, reach this massive church out in Australia. So you never know who is going to be reached in your organization. So that church that hit Diamond in 4 days.
Yes. That
They hit
Discover
Diamond
Church in Australia.
4 days. Yes, they
Yes.
were actually there this weekend.
Oh, wow.
So they hit Diamond in 4 days because they just boom, boom, boom. That guy didn't sleep. He was calling, and that church needed a massive amount. So you never know who's going to come into your organization.
That's amazing.
So that's how they did it. They did it with faith and belief and making phone calls.
So, and what I love what you touched on about, we have to get our mindset. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I have learned in the last several weeks. Danielle and Chris did the Fit in 60. And part of that is exercise, but also part of that is reading something inspirational, reading books and, reading God's word, whatever devotion. And I'm telling you, I can't tell you, that's been my favorite thing in this journey is getting this right. Because to get this right, and I read that book, oh my gosh, Napoleon Hill. I'm telling you, Alison, that changed my life. I got it on audio. I got it I ordered it and I have it on audio. I mean, I was it totally changed because I finally saw that my problem was me. Was my mindset. It changed everything. I can never thank you enough for that. And Tammy knows that because I couldn't shut up about it. It was just life-changing for me. It truly was. Now, if anyone has a question, just pop it in here and we'll be able to. Kim is asking, what ratio is drops for dogs' weight?
So there isn't. I mean, you can give them a half a dropper. This isn't based on weight, just so you know. It's an herbal product that's based on weight. That's why it's a dropper per person. Yeah. You can play with it and see what works best for your animal. But I obviously you could see me. I give her a full dose because it's never wasted.
The book that Alison suggested was Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, that book. But this one, here, if you want this book.
Yeah, I want that one too. Yeah, I want that one too. I'm going to be messaging you. I want that book too.
Well, this is the book you're referring to that you finally read.
Yes.
And mine's full of notes. It's just loaded with notes.
Oh my! It's just
Secrets to Freedom and Success. I mean, that you made me just want to read it again. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not put it down. And I'm not a big reader, but I do. But if I like what I'm hearing and it's helpful, then I can read. So
Everything's going to shut off on you. Okay. So if anyone has any questions, get them forward.
Put it down in here real quick. Yeah, because it will shut off after about, I think 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Alison, we appreciate you so much. You know how much we love and appreciate you. I know you know that. I hope so. And that call last night was just amazing. I've loved all the